Well, hello there, Own It community. My name is Shelley Brook. I am an Own It coach as well as event manager with the Own It Empire. And I'm here taking over our tips and tricks today to share with you guys how to predict success for your conversion event. So a conversion event is like a master class, a workshop, a challenge, anything like that. So today we're live in a few different places. We're live in the Own It community on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn, and we're live on YouTube. So hello to everybody out there watching, and thank you for tuning in. I would love it if you dropped a hello in the comments and let me know where you're tuning in from so I can say hi to you. And remember to grant StreamYard access so that I can see who I'm talking with. Give it permission to show me your name. And if you're catching the replay, make sure you put a hashtag replay in the comments so that we can also say hello to you and know that you're tuning in. All right, so today, like I said, we're discussing how to predict success in your conversion events. So again, conversion events are master classes, challenges, workshops, those multi-day events that you're seeing on the online. I would love to know who here has either run a conversion event before, like a workshop, masterclass, challenge, and who is planning to and who wants to. So drop in the comments. Drop a 10 in the comments if you either have done an event or you want to do an event. Let's drop a 10 in the comments. And also, I want to know who has planned and put all of their heart into their event just to have it flop. Drop a 1 in the comments. We've all been there. We've all experienced it. And that's why I put a lot of time and effort into really studying the metrics behind predicting a successful conversion event so that we know where to put our energy, so that we know what to expect and we know where we need to rev up and when we're doing well, and just so that we can take the temperature of how things are going as we're planning our event. Because it is sometimes a very long process and you don't really know what the actual eventual results will be until you've completed 2 months of planning and 9 days of lives, and then all of a sudden now you've got your results, but they're not what you were looking for. And if you had known ahead of time what the indicators were of success, you could have corrected course, put a little bit more effort here or more effort there, and really predicted and planned for your success for your event. So hosting classes, challenges, workshops, like we do in the Own It community, we actually have a event coming up in April called Business Bliss. We do that regularly. It's coming up on April 4th, so you can check it out. We'll make sure we get the link in the comments or in the description of the video, and you can check out to see what that's all about and see how we do our conversion events. So anyways, hosting these events is really an effective way to build authority, relationships, and deliver value to your community. And of course, making sales, right? That's why we're in business, so that we can serve, but we can only serve truly when we've made the sale. So how can you know if you're going to hit your sales goals for your event? Well, you need to know your numbers. You need to know your metrics. And what do I mean by know your numbers? Well, first of all, how much of the various marketing and lead generation actions does it take for you to generally reach your goals? For example, what is your average conversion rate for your events? So how many people that register for your event actually become paying clients when the event is over? And what's the percentage of that? That's your conversion rate. And on average, on average, how many of them sign up for your event? And then once you know that number, you just need to take your goal for your upcoming event and walk the numbers back to find out how many people you want to get registered for your event. And then you can take it even further. How many people do you need to invite to your event to get the registration numbers you need. And then how much of lead generation or money into ads do you need to do to get the leads, to send enough invites to get the number of registrants you would like, to get the number of sales you would like. So that is it in a nutshell. That's what I mean by knowing your numbers. And you know those numbers by tracking. You must track. So having a really good detailed Google sheet that you and your team track all your numbers on, all your activity, and knowing truly how many invites it takes to get the number of registrants you want, and knowing what that conversion rate is, so that then you can actually go out and do that amount of invites and come out with the results that you're looking for. And what if you're new to hosting conversion events? What if you don't have any metrics? You haven't tracked anything yet. Or you just haven't been tracking, then you need to do some research into find your industry averages. For example, on average, your registration numbers should generally be 50 times your sales goal for your event. So if your sales goal is, let's just do easy numbers. If your sales goal is 2, then your registration is 2 times 50, and that's how many you want to have registered. So that's a general number. We talk a little bit more in our Own It Mastermind program on what those specific numbers are for industries and kind of how to find them. But you can also do some Google searches online to find out what industry averages are for you, until you've got a good record of metrics for yourself, and you can start to see patterns in how you operate and how what the conversion rates are for you, because you may not be the same as your industry standards, but they're a good place to start. They're a good place to give you a benchmark. So some other numbers, metrics that you want to track is how many consult calls do you do during your event? How many people attend live to your live sessions? How many invites to the event do you need to do? And how many connections, if you're doing social networking or organic lead generation, how many connections are you making a day to lead to so many invites, etc. So let's talk a little bit of an example. So let's just say your goal is 10 clients. And now we're going to walk that back a little bit. For most salespeople, their close rate is anywhere between 40 and 60% when they're on a consult call. And those are experienced salespeople. So your number might be a little bit smaller than that, and that's okay. It's always better to err on the side of caution and do too many calls in comparison to doing not enough because you went off of professional salespeople's numbers. So we're going to do 40% close rate on consult calls in this example. So your goal is 10 clients closed by the end of your event. We know that you're closing about 40% of your consult calls, which means you need to do 25 consult calls, or your team does, depending on how you're working. So you need to invite 25 people or you need 25 consult calls. But how many invites to consult calls does it take to get that 25? So, and that's where you track your numbers and know. And we're going to say 30% of your invites to consult calls convert to a call. So that means you need to ask 85 people to book a call with you, approximately. And which also means you need about 85 plus people to watch your sessions where you do your live pitch for your program. So during your event, you're teaching, but then there's a day when you transition into pitching, and we teach you in that in the Own It Mastermind program as well. You transition into pitch and you talk about your program or your offering. So you need approximately 85 plus people to see that pitch before you invite them to a consult call. So knowing that, right, how many, first of all, how you want to keep that in mind and get as many people to your live sessions as possible so that you're getting your 85 plus. But then what's the conversion rate from your registrants to getting those 85 people on your live session, the pitch session? And we're going to say about 6% usually of your participants, your registrants for your live event, show up live on your by pitch day. So if we do the math, that's about 1,417 registrants. And then I'm not going to go into all the details today, but then you can average that out. So how many invites do you generally send in order to get 1,000 registrants? Maybe your conversion rate is every 1 in 2, right? So then you do the math to find out how many people you need to invite to get 1,000. And then the next step out from that would be to know how many connections you need to make to get messages back and get into a conversation in order to get to the stage where you invite them to the event. And so that's a good example of what I mean by knowing your numbers. And again, if you aren't tracking metrics yet, or you haven't had any events to track metrics, just do a little bit of research to find out what some industry standards are. But a really good jumping point is take your number of clients you want to have and times it by 50. And that's how many registrants you want to have for your event. It's a really easy number that you can work with, and that will start to give you some metrics to work off of as you're having your events. And then you're going to start to track and see what your benchmarks truly are. All right. So any questions, make sure you pop them in the chat and let me know. Are you tracking your metrics for your launch events, your conversion events yet? Or are you going to start tracking your metrics for your conversion events? Do you feel like that's important, or do you like to go off intuition and just follow your intuition, which I also believe in? I also love to make sure that I'm an impartial observer to our metrics. Metrics are really just a representation of who we were, where our thinking was, and the actions we were taking previously, but it does not need to reflect our future results and who we are now. So there is a little bit of a balance that you play if we talk physical and metaphysical, like we love to do here in the Own It community. We like to talk about working in the physical and metaphysical. So in the physical, we're tracking the numbers, but the numbers really just represent our past activity. And in the metaphysical, we stay in the place of our goal achieved. We keep our energy high. No matter what the metrics are showing us, we keep showing up like our goal is already achieved, and we keep our vibe there. And that is somewhat the definition of working in the metaphysical. So I love my physical metrics and logistics and logical things, and I love to stay in the metaphysical and the mindset of my goal achieved. And that's a little bit of a balancing act that we all get to play. I cannot wait to hear how you guys take all these ideas to predict success for your conversion events. I'd love to hear how you do. So make sure you drop in the comments or come back into the Own It community or here on LinkedIn or on YouTube in the comments and let us know how you're tracking your metrics and how you took these ideas and applied it to your business. And I would love to invite you guys all to Business Bliss, which is coming up in the Own It community starting April 4th. It's our 4-day workshop to learn how to manifest like a boss with our lovely leader and coach, Heather Lee Chapman. She's going to be leading us through the 4 stages of manifesting so that we can find more ease, flow, and bliss in our business. So make sure you join us starting April 4th. Also, we are doing a giveaway for our Own It community members. If you're in the Own It community and you connect any friends or family to your ambassador in the DM, or you invite them to the Facebook group, or you invite them to register for Business Bliss, you're going to get a point to go into a draw, and the people with the most points are going to earn a call with Heather Lee Chapman herself, for a business review, 45-minute business review call. That is a priceless call. So you want to do those invites, get those points, and win that call. That alone is going to set you off for some amazing results when you jump into doing the Business Bliss workshop and further on down the road. So we're going to drop the link in the comments or in the description of this video, and you can join us for Business Bliss starting on April 4th. Anyways, again, my name is Shelley Brook. I am Own It Coach and launch event manager for the Own It Empire, taking over here for tips and tricks today. I was so happy to join you guys. I hope you enjoyed these tips on how to predict success for your conversion events. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Expect magic and miracles, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.